That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Welcome to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This week is episode 35, Bang! 316 from October of 1998. I'm Mike Prue along with JV. JV, how you doing this week?
Doing well, buddy. Looking at some 2 Raws today, right?
Yeah, 2 Raws. Yeah, last week we had said it was going to be 3 Raws from where we left off, but there's so much going on in these 2. And it tells a good story with these 2 episodes, so we're limiting it to just these 2 upcoming Raws, which are the Raws from October, late October, so October 19th and October 26th. That's Raw 282 and 283. So that's what we'll be covering this week, and the title kind of gives it away what happens. It's one of the memorable Austin McMahon encounters with the Bang 316. McMahon 316 says I just pissed my pants. So that's
I gotta say though, this title is as easy as it was to obviously pick this for the title. It's still one of the coolest titles, regardless.
Oh yeah, Bang 316.
About 35, you know.
Yep.
Almost as good as the Vega Saga.
I still love that Vega Saga.
That's OG. That thing will live forever in Bottom Line Cast lore.
Oh yeah, it's got a shit ton of listens too.
Yeah, people love Savio Vega.
Well, they love to see what the fuck is an episode about Savio Vega all about.
Yeah, right. They probably think it's like the rise and fall of like his career or something.
The Vega Saga.
Oh, it's like a biopic. It's like,
nope. All right, so last week where we left off was episode 34. We called it Bedpan McMahon, and that was the end of September of '98, leading to Judgment Day. So basically what happened at the end of Judgment Day was McMahon had told Austin that you need to make sure, you raise the hand of a new victor, a new WWF champion. And Austin didn't do that. So he got fired. Screw you, you're fired. So we'll be looking at the fallout of McMahon firing Stone Cold, and it's going to be a mistake for McMahon to have fired Stone Cold. And Stone Cold takes it pretty easy at the end of Judgment Day, too. He's like, I guess I'm going to go hunting, and, I got stuff to do, whatever. and then he just starts drinking beer in the ring, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So
he obviously doesn't need the money, so unemployment isn't really affecting him at this point.
Right.
He's just digging into his Brinks truck.
Yep. So that's pretty much where we left off, but before we get into this week, I just want to bring up again our Extreme ECW livecast. We just put out another episode. It should be out today, same day that you're hearing this for the first time. And it's on the Book in the Territory Patreon. And JV and I covered the end of April 1993 of Eastern Championship Wrestling, ECW Hardcore TV. So it's definitely something you should check out if you're interested. Again, it's Book in the Territory Patreon, $5 tier. They have a whole lot of good content from their end. And now additional content from JV and I on there. So definitely worth checking out, Extreme ECW Livecast. And if you just want to follow along with what's going on, with what we're covering and such, we're on Twitter at ExtremeCast. So check us out there too. Give us a follow. All right, JV, anything else before we get into this episode? Bang, 316?
No, nothing else we really need to talk about, right?
No. Let's get to it. This is Raw 282. October 19th, 1998. It's live, and it's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Again, it's the day after Judgment Day, 1998. And it's going to start off with a nice big celebration with Vince McMahon, who's happy that he's finally got his monkey off his back. He's gotten Stone Cold Steve Austin out of the WWF. Because despite all the money that he's making WWF, he's making Vince McMahon's life a living hell, and Vince McMahon doesn't give a shit anymore. You're fired. And he feels very proud of himself that he fired Stone Cold. So he's having this big celebration to start the show, and it starts with confetti falling down. You got black balloons falling over the place. I guess black balloons because of Stone Cold?
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It kind of has like a strip club atmosphere.
Yeah.
Black balloons and confetti? Yeah. Kind of a strip club.
Or maybe the black balloons are like death, like the death of Stone Cold.
Yeah, maybe it was symbolic there.
Right. So McMahon wants to talk to the entire roster. So it's one of the rare occasions where you get all the people out. And whenever you bring out the entire roster, even when they do it today, it points out how many not so great wrestlers or not so great characters are part of the roster. It's like, ugh, they're there and they're mixing with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, you got Golgar out there with a giant Eric Cartman, like, stuffy.
Right, on the side of, like, The Rock.
Yeah. It's like, whoa.
It's like, wow. You don't notice it when it's just, like, segment to segment in the show, but then you put them all in the same ring. Like,
worlds collide.
Yeah. So that's what you have here. You have the whole roster out there in the ring, and everyone's chanting for Austin. And the Stooges finally make their way out one by one. And then McMahon comes out. And he has the dogs again. He's got his security. He's got the big boss man who's out there twirling his nightstick. And then he's gonna address the audience. And we're gonna take a listen to that now. So I'll take a listen to Vince McMahon address the audience and the WWF roster at this point. Take a listen. We'll talk about it in about 5 minutes. It's a pretty lengthy one, so enjoy it. McMahon's a complete dick here again.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention? I have a very important announcement to make as relates to the World Wrestling Federation Championship.
We have no champion after last night, thanks to Stone Cold.
As a result of an individual who is no longer gainfully employed here in the World Wrestling Federation, we have no World Wrestling Federation champion as we speak. However, I assure you that on the night of November 15 at the Survivor Series, as a matter of fact, I guarantee you, there goes that word again. I guarantee you.
Yes. Take it to the bank.
Nonetheless, I guarantee you on November 15, at the end of that evening, we will have an undisputed WWF champion, because on that night at the Survivor Series, 16 WWF superstars will compete in a one-night tournament to determine just who will be the next undisputed WWF champion.
Whoa! St. Louis, Missouri, that's Survivor Series.
Now, as far as some of the events of last night are concerned, it seems as though some of you are in a state of shock. Some of you are in a state of disbelief.
Listen to these moronic fans expressing themselves from their hearts.
If I am, I'm damn proud of it.
Oh, did you hear that?
Some of you are certainly in a state of shock. Did Vince McMahon really fire Stone Cold Steve Austin last night? Well, for the benefit of those of you who did not join us on pay-per-view last night at Judgment Day, how appropriate, Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Let me repeat the words I said to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin, screw you, you're fired.
What is that, all right?
How did Stone Cold Steve Austin take the news? Well, I'll show you how he took the news. On the Titantron, if you'll direct your attention, someone from production will put up a freeze frame of Stone Cold Steve Austin's face. As soon as Stone Cold heard those words, Stone Cold had that look on his face, a look of disbelief. He couldn't believe he had just been fired. Austin, as a matter of fact, started mumbling something about hunting season or going hunting. I didn't know what he meant until This morning, someone told me that rumor was Austin was indeed hunting. He was hunting for a job. Austin, if you ever come into a World Wrestling Federation arena again, then you'll do so just like this capacity crowd. You'll have to buy a ticket, Austin.
Wow. What a cruel man.
All right. So what did it feel like? Many of you are saying to yourself, my God, what's it like to be Vince McMahon? What's it like to have the balls to fire Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Woo!
I really wondered. I wondered if Austin provoked me, how I would feel. And last night I searched. And last night, when I fired Austin, I'll admit, it felt pretty damn good.
I'll bet.
At the end of the evening, after asking that question again, I was convinced it felt great. And then this morning, you know, when you look into that mirror, bright and early when you first get up, that soul searching. All right, Vince McMahon, how did you feel after firing Stone Cold Steve Austin? You know what it felt like to me this morning?
What?
It was better than sex.
Whoa! That's good, JR. He's wicked. Better than sex.
Which brings me as to why each and every one of you stand before me as WWF superstars. Hopefully, you all learned the lesson that Stone Cold learned last night. Hopefully, no one in that ring will ever cross the boss, because none of you are as big as Vince McMahon. You know, all that Austin 316 paraphernalia out there, t-shirts, what have you, another rumor going around that it's going like hotcakes, because now Austin 316, that's a collector's item, you see. Now there's a new expression. A new expression that's going to be sweeping the nation, sweeping the globe. And that's McMahon 316.
Oh, when are those shirts coming out?
And McMahon 316 says, I've got the brass to fire your ass. Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen.
Great. Wait just a minute. Hey, wait, look at the Titantron. Folks, that's got a freeze frame. That's a live shot. The rattlesnake is here. He can't be here. My God. Look at McMahon's face. Austin is here. What? He's here, and he's armed. My God.
All right, so there you have it. Vince McMahon is right where we left off there. He's pretty scared at this point because Austin's returned. But let's go back to the top of it. And you have Vince McMahon. He comes out all ballsy to start it off, and he wants the attention. He has a very big, important announcement. It's going to be about the WWF Championship, and he makes it clear, he makes it known that there's no WWF Champion as we speak. But I assure you, on the night of November 15th, the Survivor Series, I guarantee you, and even he's aware of this now, and he's making this part of his thing. Oh, yeah, there it is. There's that word again. Guarantee you. It's funny because we were saying that on the show, on past episodes. Oh, when he guarantees, he means it. And now he's actually acknowledging, I guarantee it. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So he guarantees it. We will have an undisputed champion. There's going to be a 16-competitor single-night tournament. And what do you think of tournaments?
There's a time and place for them. I guess the best way. I like tournaments, but too many times WWE doesn't take their tournaments seriously. So it's hard for me to take it seriously as a viewer at times. But I like them. But a lot of times they're like recently, like King of the Ring, they haven't done that in a while. But recent tournaments they've done have been kind of crappy.
Right, like Cruiserweight tournament hasn't really meant anything. Yeah, the Dusty Road
they've
Tag
had
Team
better luck with
tournaments.
gauntlets. Yeah, with when they put a wrestler through the gauntlet, they've had better.
Yeah, those are
there.
entertaining.
I like the gauntlet better than I do
Yeah,
tournaments.
I like those too. Yeah, I like the whole idea of a tournament, and what you say is a good point. Time and place for it. So not every tournament is really necessary, but if you can do a good meaningful tournament like this one that's going to come up for the Survivor Series, this is considered to be one of the greatest nights of tournament in WWF history.
Yeah, I know we're getting a good one here, thankfully.
Yeah. So in this case, yeah, this one's good. I just generally like the idea of a tournament because it makes it feel like a real sporting event. You get the different matchups, and then they move on, and it's like, oh, who are they going to go up against next? It's the winner of this match. That just kind of makes it exciting. Well, like if you go back and you watch the '80s tournaments, it's pretty clear in day, clear of day who's going to win because you got a heel. Like, oh, the babyface in the next spot's going to move on. So,
like we just covered in the ECW cast, so
right, exactly, that's true, and so tournaments can have a good reason, but yeah, with the King of the Ring, after a while, that is when it starts to just become shitty because there's only so much you can do with the winners of the King of the Ring. You can't do the same thing every year with them, or it's just too predictable.
Yeah,
so then that's why eventually it started to mean nothing because they didn't do anything with the winners of the King of the Ring. Just won the King of the Ring. But Stone Cold didn't do anything. He had to do it himself by cutting that promo.
Yep.
It's not like they put him on the fast track.
Yeah, he put himself over.
Right.
He sees the opportunity.
Right. He saw that he was in the spot at the end of a show to cut a promo. All right, I'm going to take advantage of this time. So yeah, they don't always. Yeah. Not everyone always does that.
Which we cover in a previous episode.
Yeah.
Right.
All the way back to. I think it's episode 6. Which was Austin 316 episode. Yeah. All right, so McMahon is out there. He's proud of being an asshole. He gets the asshole chance. He's like, if I am, I'm damn proud of it. Which I thought was cool. So McMahon says that people are in a state of disbelief or shock because of the firing of Austin. And McMahon wants to repeat what he said at Judgment Day. And does it again. He repeats it word for word. Austin, screw you, you're fired. So he's starting to like that. He's starting to like you're fired.
He's going over the top now.
Right.
Which I love. I love over the top Vince McMahon.
Oh yeah. He even gets to the point where he's going to show Austin on the screen like, oh, look how in disbelief he looks. He doesn't even look like he's in much disbelief.
They picked a bad picture.
Right. So they have him up there. He's like, Austin says something about mumbling for a job, going hunting, whatever. The only thing he's hunting for is he's hunting for a job, and that's like is a little joke.
I liked it.
I did too. I did too.
He set it up well.
Yep.
Such a cunt.
There you go. That's exactly what he is. So McMahon tells Austin the only way you're going to be ever in a WWF arena again is if you buy a ticket. McMahon says he feels great about firing Austin. At first, he felt he was okay with it. He liked the idea of it. Then he felt great about it. But then when he woke up in the morning, like you do in the morning, you have to look yourself in the mirror. He realized and felt like it was better than sex.
Which is something he would say.
Yeah, it is something he would say. And I heard somebody else, I think it was Eric Bischoff on his podcast, say like, oh, it was better than sex. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm at a certain point now where I think a lot of things can be better than sex. It's like, yeah, I had sex, enough times.
Yeah.
Like, being home alone with no kids or wife on a Saturday afternoon, that's better than sex, too.
I bet it is. I'm not in that position yet, but, man, I can imagine. A little peace and quiet and just, like, you time.
Yeah, exactly. So better with sex thing. Yeah, it's a little overrated, that line. All right, so back to Stone Cold and McMahon here. Hopefully you all learn the lesson. McMahon's talking to the ring now. He's talking to all the wrestlers. Hopefully you learn the lesson from Stone Cold that no one will ever cross the boss. No one's bigger than Vince McMahon. And that just strikes me as he's telling the fucking truth.
Oh
When he says
yeah,
that.
yeah. He means everything he's saying.
Yeah, he totally.
He's
means
not
it.
acting. Yeah.
No, that's totally what he believes. So McMahon talks about the Austin merchandise is now going to be collector's items, which is funny because the Austin 316 shirt is just still selling all these years later.
Yep.
So he says there'll be a new slogan sweeping the globe: McMahon 316. I've got the brass to fire your ass.
Was he writing his own shit?
I don't know. I know Vince Russo was in at this point, so I'm sure a good deal of it was written by Russo, but also probably by Vince McMahon because he's involved in the writing process. So
yeah, he owns it.
Yeah, he probably really felt that, so that's why it comes off that way. So Austin now. Austin is shown on the Titantron, which was pretty cool at 11 minutes and 23 seconds. They had the image of Austin from the previous night, but then it kind of just like morphs into, like seamlessly too, it morphs into Austin live. Because the way that they just faded
for that one.
Yeah, the way they just faded off. And then it was like, that's not the picture from last night. That's Austin now. And he has this camo gear on. He has a fucking rifle in his hand. So McMahon is scared shitless. He wants to get the hell off the stage, and he wants Boss Man. He tells Boss Man a few minutes later, go take him out. So Boss Man
when's
goes
the
off.
last time they've shown a gun? Never mind a rifle.
Right.
On WWE television.
Crazy.
I was like, wow, that just shows you how different societies were. If that happened today, oh my God, everyone with a fucking smartphone and a Twitter account, blow that up out of proportion.
That's exactly what it is, though. It's the social media. Everyone has a platform to say shit, whereas in the past, the only platform you had if you wanted to talk about WWF, I mean, I guess there were outlets for it, but in general, like basically, you'd bring a sign to the arena and put what you thought on the sign.
Yeah. Did you see it? Anyone see it on TV?
Right, that's it. Or you just wouldn't go. You wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch it, you didn't give a fuck what was happening on it.
Yeah, you don't like it.
Yeah, you didn't watch shit.
Don't watch it.
Right, you don't watch shit to bitch about it. The fuck? That's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it, though. Anyway. I do it a lot. I'm a hypocrite.
Well, I guess in the sense of like being a wrestling fan, you bitch about it because you're a wrestling fan. It's not like I'm going to go watch Teen Mom and then, I don't give a fuck about it, but I'm not going to watch it with my wife and then tweet all about it and complain about it. If
I saw something offensive watching like a show I don't watch, like Teen Mom, I'm like, I can't believe this is on TV for children. I would never go that far.
Right. It's
I'm
like, oh, this sucks.
I guess I'm not watching that. And you know what? I guess my kids aren't either.
Right. That's the end of it. Yeah. Well, you got to get your panties
go
in
to
a
Twitter.
bunch. No.
Yeah, let everybody know.
You believe what happened on Bubble Guppies? What they said? This show's not good for kids. Yeah, right. Just fucking don't let the kid watch it anymore.
Yeah,
many shows out there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's move on now. So a little while later in the show, this show is basically just centering around Austin McMahon the whole night. So there's a whole lot going on that we'll be banging through. It's like every 10 minutes there's a segment. So 10 minutes later from where we left off there, Austin is outside in a truck. He's spotted by the police who had just taken out China. China got arrested for sexual harassment, I guess, is the storyline with Mark Henry.
Yep.
So they catch Stone Cold Steve Austin just sitting in his truck, so they walk over to him. And they ask him to get out of the truck. And they're like, oh, what are you doing? He said, I'm doing some deer hunting. They notice that he has a gun on his side. So they ask him what it is. He goes, it's a 38 special. And, what's a 38 special? That's just fucking the caliber, 38 millimeter.
It's not Call of Duty. If it's not Call of Duty, I don't know what gun is. No,
because I'm wondering because in the next episode he's gonna say it was a fake gun. Yeah, I don't know if that's like slang for a fake gun. 38
maybe.
special. I have no idea. I'm not a gun nut. I don't know shit about it.
No, I don't know shit.
Yeah,
I know like an M16 is, an AR-15. Shit like that.
Yeah, the video game guns.
Yeah.
All right, so the cops seem to like him. They're like, oh yeah. So at first you think maybe they're gonna bust him, but then they're just like, oh hey, how you doing? Can I get an autograph? My son? They go, oh, what's your son's name? Brett. Oh, how's Brett doing?
Yeah.
Which,
Great choice of name.
You know it's a fucking joke, on Bret Hart. How's Bret doing? Over in WCW, sucking asses like the U.S. champ. Man, that's horrible. He should have thought twice about just leaving because they just buried him when he went to WCW.
Didn't he get a lot of money, though?
Yeah, he got a lot of money.
And he got hurt, so he couldn't wrestle anymore anyway.
Yeah. So I guess it all
Still
worked
shitty,
out.
though. Very shitty. Maybe he doesn't get hurt if he doesn't go there. Who knows? It didn't. From all the documentaries I've watched and shit I've read online, it didn't sound like a safe working environment at the time.
No. And you're going in there as the top guy from, in their eyes, the enemy, which it was.
Yeah.
You're one of the top guys. They're not going to put you on top in their company. They're going to treat you like shit. Like, oh, now you're coming to us, so you're going to be under Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, and they all had like
level.
Creative power, like they could make their own decisions. They had like these weird contracts, but yeah, whatever. I get them. Yeah.
So Bret's screwed. That's how Bret's doing.
Bret screwed Bret.
All right, so Austin gets away with it. Cops leave him alone, and Austin and the Stooges can't believe. Well, not Austin, McMahon. McMahon and the Stooges can't believe what happened, and Vince is like, "What the hell kind of town is this?"
Yeah, really.
They're not doing anything about this guy with a gun.
Big city. It's Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee. It's making it seem like it's some small little town in Wisconsin.
Hey, in Freetown, Mass.
Yeah, jeez. So there's a uniformed police officer in McMahon's office, and the officer's like, "I'm not going out there and endangering my life. So I'm out of here." He walks away. It's like, that's your job. That's what you're supposed to do.
What do you mean? This guy's a poser.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he was. Just like the last cops, those were independent wrestlers, apparently, from what I read.
Yeah, I don't believe any of these. Any of them.
Oh, right. And this guy either. The guy that's in McMahon's office saying that he won't endanger his life. He's got the mullet with the no sideburn look going. The sideburns at like the temple.
Oh, which is that's the worst. The worst mullet look by far.
So he leaves McMahon, and McMahon's all scared.
You should always have sideburns, some kind of sideburns. It should never go like more. It should always be like a half inch, a little bit below, like the top of wherever your ear is. Yeah. It shouldn't be up at like your fucking hairline.
Right. So McMahon's crying. He's crying for protection. He needs security. He's yelling at the guy, "Come back here! Where the hell did he go?" Then Briscoe, in just his his accent, "I'll find him, Mr. McMahon."
The best accent.
And then
Mr. McMahon.
Yeah. And then moments after that, the Stooges leave. So Briscoe's gonna go find that guy, but then Patterson and Sergeant Slaughter, they're gonna go get coffee. So all of a sudden now, Vince McMahon is left alone again. Now the Stooges are gone, the big boss man's gone, and they're not coming back the whole episode, which is fucking stupid because they're always by his side. Now they're just gonna leave him hanging.
Well, I kept waiting to see like they're all going to be tied up somewhere.
That's what I thought should happen. That should happen.
Yeah.
But nope. Flaws in the storyline. But what you got here instead now is McMahon's in there all quiet and he's by himself. Then he hears a knocking at the door and the suspense is building up a little bit. Like, oh, who is it? And McMahon has that look on his face like he's scared. And then it's Mankind with Mr. Sacco. And he comes with candy again, and I thought this was so great because I thought it was just a one-off in the last episode. But he comes in, he says, "After all, I know Vinny's got a sweet tooth." He says it again,
which is funny because from what I understand, Vince actually hates sugar.
Oh, so that's probably why he's saying it.
I heard that on a couple other podcasts. I don't know how genuine it is, but apparently he doesn't like sugar and sweets.
No, I guess I was just listening to something too with Bruce Pritchard. He said like the really only time that he'll have sweets is on Thanksgiving with the pie. That's it. Yeah. It's the only time. And other than that, he basically only eats dry pasta and grilled chicken.
Yeah,
it's like his only meal.
He eats a 5-egg white omelet or something every morning.
Yep.
But yeah.
So.
And he's good for his age, so whatever he's doing, it's working. I might need to get on that diet.
And when he eats steak, though, the funny thing is, like he's this big rich guy. When he eats steak, he dips it in ketchup.
Really? That kind of guy. I can hang out with him, have beers. I do that too.
I don't get a ketchup.
Yeah. I had to do it at those nicer restaurants like Longhorn, but then they really look at you weird.
Yeah, apparently he only does it when he's in the office or at home. Is when he does the ketchup. But that shows who he really is at heart. He's from North Carolina.
Yeah. He's a fucking 12-year-old boy.
Yeah. So in the conversation with Mankind, which at this point McMahon, who would usually be totally annoyed with Mankind, is just dealing with him because he's protection basically at this point from Austin. So he lets Mankind hang around. But that's not going to last for long because Mankind starts to get on his nerves. Mankind's asking McMahon to rehire Austin. He's got a badge on Mr. Sacco, and he's calling Mr. Sacco the sheriff.
Which is awesome.
And he takes out a game of Twister, and he's trying to get Vince McMahon out of his chair to play Twister. So then Vince McMahon finally loses his shit, and he's like, I don't give a shit if I'm all by myself now. So basically, get out of here. Yeah. I'd rather be by myself and get beat up by Austin than have you in here at this point. So he gave Mankind a shot, but Mankind annoyed him after like 8 minutes. Then from there, 10 minutes later, like I said, every 10 minutes or so you get in a segment. You got Vince McMahon, he's sitting in the office, and he gets a phone call. And it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. So you got McMahon, he's hesitant at first to pick up the phone. Stone Cold picks it up. Well, he picks it up, and it's Stone Cold. He says, Vince, time's up, you sorry bastard. So then he's like shaking his boots. He gets on the phone with his limo driver. He tells the limo driver to pull up to the entrance. And if you see Austin, promise you scream so I can hear you. Promise you scream if you see Austin. So I like this whole little segment. It's kind of like suspenseful in a way. You know, you're wondering where the fuck's Austin.
It reminds you of a campy horror movie.
Yeah. It's campy. Yep.
It works though.
Yeah. I liked it. And McMahon's just wheeling around. So again, that's cool because he's vulnerable. He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I love it. It is great. It reminds you of like Misery.
Yeah.
You see that movie Misery?
Yeah. Right.
And the guy's in like the wheelchair, and they caught like that chick's got him trapped or whatever.
Yep. James Caan.
Yeah. James
Kathy
Caan
Bates.
and Kathy Bates. Yeah.
And they're gonna reference that a little later too. The whole Misery.
Oh, do they?
thing.
I didn't even catch the reference.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'll get to it. So, he's like I said, he's cautiously wheeling around the hallways. And, you're just waiting for Austin to pop out of anywhere. But then you see the limo in the distance, and he's like, "Oh shit, he made it!" So he gets down to the limo. He opens up the door to go in the limo, but at the same time, Austin is on the other side of the car. Opens the door and slides into the car and pushes McMahon out the other end. Grabs a hold of him, and he's gonna get him back in the wheelchair. And he's all rough with them in the wheelchair, like banging him into everything. And they get back into Mr. McMahon's office. Now this kind of threw me for a loop. Like McMahon's the boss. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody's trying to stop Austin.
He's the owner of the company. This guy's a billionaire.
Right.
And everyone's just kind of like, That's why I was expecting. There's a hole in the. It's still a great story, so I don't even want to, because I don't want to act like I'm complaining. But that's the one. If you're going to analyze it from a writing perspective, I guess, which I'm not a writer, so I don't know why the fuck I am, but I am. And they could have had showed something with his henchmen all fucked up or something. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, they should have showed that, or they should have had like people banging on the door to get in, but they couldn't get in while Austin is in the office with McMahon. It's more of that, but he's just like wheeling around, going wherever he wants with McMahon. So, yeah, whatever. It's still fun though. And we get McMahon back in the office, and Austin, like JV said before, you wouldn't have this on TV today, but Austin pulls out a little knife.
It's a little knife too.
Yeah, it is a little knife.
Because when I was reading your notes before I watched the episode, before I was like run to watch, I'm expecting like he's gonna have like his big fucking Bowie knife. So it was even funnier to me that he pulled out like a little fucking Swiss knife.
Yeah,
like you slice. What are you gonna slice apples with that thing?
Right. He's gonna he's eating some apples in front of McMahon.
Yeah. What the fuck?
All right, so you have him pull out the knife, and he's asking him questions. Austin's asking McMahon questions like, "Have you ever been hunting?" McMahon's like, "Yeah," and then he's like lying though. He's like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, what'd you hunt?" And then he changes his story. Nothing. It was actually safari.
Yeah.
He's like, "Safari? Like an elephant? Shit." So he's like, "You think a knife like this could kill an elephant?" So McMahon's all scared.
Yeah.
But that little tiny knife kill an elephant. I don't think so. So another 10 minutes goes by. Austin continues to threaten McMahon. So basically after every match, they're cutting to the office for little segments with Austin and McMahon. It's pretty cool. Keeps it alive. Keeps the story alive. Especially on in a situation where it's Nitro versus Raw. So if people are into this storyline, they can't go away because it's back and forth like every 5-10 minutes. So you don't want to miss it.
We lived it. We used to do it. If a segment got boring or we didn't like what was going on, that's when you'd make the jump.
Oh, exactly. Yep.
To the other station and see who's got you.
Yep.
God, I feel bad for the wrestling fans that did not get to experience that because that was awesome.
It's nothing like it. It was fucking
crazy.
amazing. I do have a little information, though, while I'm on this point, that for this Raw has won their 5th straight week in a row, but this is their biggest head-to-head rating victory over Nitro during this time. Raw had a 5.01 rating, and head-to-head against Nitro had a 4.36. So, there you go. So people were totally into watching this instead of whatever was on Nitro that night. It's funny to look at it, though, because you have these ratings. Like a 5.01 is great for wrestling on Monday. Whereas today, like, I don't know, Raw's ratings are like maybe 2 point something.
They're like barely hitting 2 now.
Right. Yeah, barely hitting 2. But then you look at what else was on Monday night. Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football, Jets versus Patriots, 14.56 rating. So,
no shit.
Yeah. Crazy. So this is a big Raw. Basically is my point there. It's one that grabbed the attention of the wrestling audience that night. All right, so like I said, 10 minutes later, they're back in there. You got Austin's threatening McMahon, and nobody's there. It's just back to that point. We're like, where the fuck's the cops? Where's the big boss man? Where's the Stooges? But at that point, he's threatening McMahon. He gives a nice little quote. I told you I was going hunting. I didn't get it there. Instead, I got a jackass. Great one. And then you get into some weird stuff. And we're going to play this audio clip. And this is McMahon oinking. He's supposed to be squealing, but he does some oinking.
Yeah, he does.
So take a listen.
Do you see that? Do you need a better look? No, let's get you. I know you got bad eyesight.
No.
Let's get you.
I see it.
You see that?
I see it.
You see it?
I see it.
What are you all nervous for? Do you think that was meant for you? Do you think that was meant for you, Vince? No. But look at you. Look at your face. I look at you and you remind me. You remember that guy Ned Beatty? You remember the movie Deliverance, right? You saw that?
Oh no.
Deliverance, right? You saw that.
Oh no.
I think I
You remember the part? Shut up. You remember the part when he made the guy squeal? Made him squeal.
No.
That's what I think I'd like for you to do right now. I was wondering maybe if you could squeal like a pig for me. And I think that you can squeal like a pig, Vince. Do it. Squeal for me. You understand me? I said squeal, son. Start squealing like a pig.
Oink. Oink.
Is that the best you can do? Give me my damn bow. Are you going to squeal? Are you going to...
Oink.
Louder!
We're back live, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. McMahon held hostage by Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Movie buff. I'm just wondering, you ever see that movie Deliver? I mean, not that. We already covered that. Did you see the movie Misery? Did you see that movie? It was funny because when Kathy Bates, she got James Caan because she's like an obsessed fan. He broke down in his nose, so she took him in the house, right? And then, because she got mad at him, she put this 2x4 between his legs and she got a big sledgehammer. She ran back, wham! She broke his damn legs. I was just wondering if, maybe she could do that because it seemed kind of far-fetched and, a 2x4 could it really...
Help!
Hold it.
Help!
You just happen to have a 2x4 between your legs, son. I guess that means all I
Help!
got to do is find a sledgehammer, right? Well, that's what
Help!
Shut up. Shut up, man. You're making me sick. You're making way too much noise. Shut up. This will do you. This will hold you. Don't make a sound. We're going to find a sledgehammer, and we're going to do this. We're going to find out if that could really work. So you're not going to go anywhere, right? You promise you're not going to go anywhere. You promise, Vince. Because you're a man of your word. I know that. I've been dealing with you for a long time. You're not going to go anywhere, right? I knew that you were, and I could trust you. Yeah, because you're a good kid, and I'm going to be right back. Okay? I'll be right back, and I don't want you to go nowhere. And everything's going to be okay. You trust me on this, right? Good. You stay there.
All right, so right at the beginning of that scene that we just played for you, there's a picture in the office hanging, and there's an arrow shot through it. So, you know, it's supposed to be, you know, that Austin shot an arrow to kind of show to McMahon that, look at the damage this thing could do. But they don't show it live, so they probably didn't want to screw it up, like, we could do this, and it might not even work. So
I couldn't figure out which hockey player it was in. But it was
I couldn't either.
The hockey player's face.
And they're in Milwaukee, so what the hell hockey player would it have been?
I don't know. That's why it was weird. It looked like a Detroit Red Wings player.
It did. I thought it was Detroit, too.
Maybe that's their team who they align with. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe they filmed it a couple weeks ago. I don't know, when they were in Detroit with the Zamboni.
Yeah, possible.
Who knows? All right, so what you had there was that picture hanging, and you didn't see that, so that's why I wanted to point it out to you, that there was the arrow in the wall. And it happened before the audience sees it. So you got Austin rolling McMahon, bringing him up closer to it so he can take a look at it, to take a look at the damage. And Austin begins to talk about deliverance, and he even sings the little song. Fucking, have you ever watched Deliverance?
Watch what?
Deliverance.
Is it a movie?
Yeah.
Nope.
No, it's the movie that's that Austin's getting to. Like, this is what he's trying to get McMahon to do. He said, "Oh, you ever see that movie Deliverance where they make the boy squeal like a pig?" And that's what I want to do. Well, yeah, it's some like redneck type movie from the 70s. Pretty creepy. It's kind of like
it's like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, it's like a family of incest people living in the woods, and a couple or a group of hunters, whatever, get kidnapped by them and get butchered and shit.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Sounds like almost like that movie Wrong Turn.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but like a more realistic version of it with not monsters and shit.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's like a cult classic. So that's what Austin's talking about, and he wants to make McMahon squeal like a pig. So you expect that McMahon will squeal, but he does oinks instead. Starts going oink, oink.
Yeah, it sounds
oink,
awful.
Oink.
I'm surprised they don't play that clip more of him. I get it. He's probably like, don't fucking play that.
Right. Probably. And then from there, right in that same scene, that Austin is talking to him about Misery. Talks about Misery and how, like, he asked him, "You ever seen that movie Misery? With the guy's in a wheelchair and the girl's taking care of him, and he has a block between his legs." He's like, "Hell, you got a block between your legs? All I need is a sledgehammer. I need to see if a sledgehammer can break someone's legs like it does in the movie." So McMahon starts screaming and asking for help, and Austin tapes up his mouth, wraps the tape around his chair, and then he heads off to look for a sledgehammer. So that's what you had there. And then 10 minutes later, that's the theme here, 10 minutes later, you're going to have another clip where they're going to make a deal. Okay, Austin's going to play a little game with McMahon called You Bet Your Life. And so, like, if you haven't got the point, Austin is kind of threatening McMahon the entire episode that he's going to kill him, but he's not going to feel a damn thing. He's not going to feel anything. It's going to be just like that.
That's the other thing. He's threatening to kill him, and there's still nobody.
Right. But Austin's choosing his words carefully.
That's how much everyone hates Vince McMahon, see?
Yeah.
Plays to the narrative.
Yeah, right. All right, so take a listen to this You Bet Your Life clip and what the deal will be. So take a listen.
Oh, no.
I've always wanted to know if that would really work. But it's probably all for the better because, I mean, really, but the thing between you and me is not really all about pain, man. I'm not here to make you suffer physical pain. You know, but not to, discount the fact that last night you fired me in front of the world, didn't you? And you feel real good about that, don't you? No, Vince, I got bigger plans for you than that. I got way bigger plans for you than that, and you can rest your damn bottom dollar that I'm going to carry them out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to carry the plans out tonight. And when I shut up, you're pathetic. You're completely pathetic. And when I carry these plans out, you rest assured, miss, no. You ain't feel a damn thing.
Won't feel a thing? What's he mean?
You want to relax a little bit. You got to get a little fresh air. I'm going to take it easy on you. I don't want you having a heart attack. I'm going to relax a little bit. You having fun, right? Right? We're going to watch a little TV here. You ready to watch some TV with Stone Cold? Huh? Got a big match coming up here. You remember that old show? You Bet Your Life? You remember that? Remember You Bet Your Life?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
we're going to play a little game here. Hell, man, we're having a good time. Kane and The Undertaker are about to fight here, okay? So what you've got to do is you're going to pick either Kane or The Undertaker. You got it? Who are you going to pick?
I don't want to choose anybody.
Well, you're going to have to choose somebody. You understand me? You're going to have to choose somebody. That's it. We're having fun. Choose somebody.
Kane.
Okay, well, let's look at it this way.
Kane.
If Kane wins, I give you the benefit of the doubt, and we'll do things the easy way. Okay? Now, if there's any other outcome in the match, we're going to do things the hard way. The Stone Cold Steve Austin way. Do I make myself clear, buddy? Let's tune in. Let's watch a little TV. Man, this is good.
All right, so there you have it. Austin's going to make a deal with McMahon. You bet your life. And it starts off with Austin telling McMahon, I'm not here to make you feel physical pain. I got big plans for you tonight, and I'm going to carry these plans out later tonight, and you won't feel a damn thing. And JR chimes in, what does he mean he won't feel a thing? So JR is even kind of hitting the point to the audience. He doesn't feel a damn thing. Listen, he doesn't feel a thing. He won't feel a thing. So you get to what that is in a bit. You already know that he doesn't feel a damn thing.
Yeah, spoiler alert, he doesn't kill him.
Right, he doesn't feel a thing because nothing happens. But good choice of wording. Good, that's smart. You know, despite all the holes with the other parts of the story, that was a good part of the writing there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got Austin makes McMahon play You Bet Your Life, which is some old game, from the 70s, I believe. TV show, game show. And what McMahon had to do is choose either Kane or Undertaker. You bet your life. Do you bet your life on Kane or The Undertaker? So Kane and Undertaker are going to have a match later tonight. Undertaker is now aligned with Paul Bearer again after what happened at Judgment Day. So you have a little switch here. Undertaker's the heel. Kane has become the babyface. And they're going to have a match later tonight, later in this episode, where it's a casket match. So, basically what it comes down to is if Kane wins, Austin says we'll do things the easy way. If anything other than Kane wins, then we'll do things the Stone Cold way. And basically what happens, without going through all the details, is Kane and Undertaker both get tossed into the casket at the same time. Okay, so they're both in the casket, and they both fall down in the casket at the same time. And then the refs close the casket. So you'd think it would be a draw at that point. But no, the match isn't called yet. And what kind of cool is what happens here is Kane and Undertaker are going to bust themselves out of the casket. I thought that was pretty
really
cool.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, they had a lot of strength to be able to just bust out from inside. And the match continues.
You can't wind up. You don't have space to right.
So
you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So the match continues there, and it should have been a draw. Like I said, in my opinion, they both were closed in it. So, which would have worked the same because Kane didn't win. And the idea is that if anything other than Kane winning happens, then things are going to be the Stone Cold way. So that would have been a cool way to just end it there. But nope. Like I said, they have it continue, and Undertaker nails Kane with the steel chair, and then you get a DQ. A DQ in a casket match. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. Well, that's what you got. So McMahon lost the bet. He lost whatever their bargain was. This You Bet Your Life thing. So Austin comes out, tells McMahon, "You lose. You need to come with me." So then he takes his ass. He's gonna wheel him out, and now we get to the infamous scene. Take a listen to this, and then we'll talk about all that happened with this Bang 316. Enjoy.
Look at you. Look at you, Vince. Hell, earlier you was out here bragging and throwing some big party without Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hell, I think I missed out. Go ahead and throw up the little party they had on the Titantron so I can check it out myself. Put it
tonight.
Oh, here we go.
Hopefully, no one in that ring will ever cross the boss. Because none of you are as big as Vince McMahon. You know, all that Austin 316 paraphernalia out there, t-shirts, what have you. Another rumor going around that it's going like hotcakes because now Austin 316, that's a collector's item, you see. Now there's a new expression. A new expression that's going to be sweeping the nation, sweeping the globe. And that's McMahon 316.
Please turn that off.
And McMahon 316 says,
Please turn it off.
I've got the brass to fire your axe.
Oh.
Look up there, Vince. Look up there. Look, don't look. So cocky. You think you're so damn cool. You think you own everybody. Look at you. Take a good look, Vince. Please. And now look at you now. You're pathetic. On your knees, crying in front of the world.
How humiliating for the owner of this company.
You make me sick, Vince, and I'll tell you what.
Oh, no.
I got a little something that I want you to read because this is going to bring a few more tears to your eyes once you read this little letter right here. And I'll tell you this.
What is that?
Where you're going when the devil reads that, hell, that son of a bitch is going to be pretty pissed off himself. So I guess that means, Vince, I only got one little thing to do. And what I want you to do is to look up at that screen. Take that off. I want Vince's picture on the screen. Look up at the screen, Vince. Because your eyes are fixing to pop out of the front of your head.
No! Come on, Steve.
If you want Vince's eyes to pop out of the front of his head, give me a hell yeah.
Steve, take it easy now. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Oh, my. It's a toy. What? It's a toy. Austin was armed with a toy. That is not funny.
You gotta remember, Vince, it wasn't Stone Cold Steve Austin that screwed Vince McMahon, but it was Vince McMahon that screwed Vince McMahon. I think you got a little problem there, and I think we got another t-shirt on the way, and I think that t-shirt might just say McMahon 316 says I just pissed my pants.
Oh, no. Oh, man, how humiliating, how degrading. Oh, wait, look out. Austin got McMahon again. This is the most humiliating, degrading night in Vince McMahon's life. The unemployed rattlesnake has struck. He's fired. He's not supposed to even be here. Look at this for him, trousers. He's the toughest unemployed SOB in America. Don't cut the camera on Mr. McMahon's pants. Stone Cold Steve Austin has duped Mr. McMahon with a toy. And now the boss knows what it feels like to be humiliated in front of the world. His pants are wet. Mr. McMahon wet himself, for goodness sake. Oh, this is What's in that letter? Look out! Oh, he's gonna get it again! A rattlesnake strikes!
Okay, so it starts off with Austin rolling McMahon down to the ring, pushing his ass down there. The crowd's all jacked up and hyped up because they've been seeing him on the big screen, and now they're finally in the arena together. Austin forces McMahon into the ring, and Austin has his weapons. He has his gun, he has his bow. He grabs the mic, tells McMahon, look at you, Vince, earlier. You were bragging, and you're having a big party, and you're talking about McMahon 316. You're trying to be this big shot, which was cool because it did start off like that. McMahon was this big, tough guy, and now you get him just a couple hours later, or throughout the entire episode, becoming a little bitch the whole night.
Yeah, it's crazy how the show starts with McMahon on top of the world. You know what I mean? Like,
yep. Confetti, balloons.
Cloud9 celebrating, and now he's fucking on at Steve Austin's mercy.
Right, and he's going to piss his pants.
Yep.
so that's what we got here. So, look at you.
You right. Piss your pants and you're an adult? I don't give a fuck what situation. You're automatically a pussy.
Yeah.
Sorry. Even if you have a bladder problem.
Yeah, I got fucking dry throat today. What the hell's going on here?
I know I have dry throat.
Yeah. All right. So if I coughed a few times into the mic, guys, sorry. All right, so he tells McMahon, you're pathetic. You're on your knees. You're crying in front of the world. You make me sick, Vince. So Austin, he has this letter. He wants McMahon to read it. He's going to stuff it in his suit pocket. And, you wonder what it is. It says it has the WWF official logo in the corner. So it's something corporate. Or you think it's something corporate. But he puts it in there. Austin tells McMahon, your eyes are fixing to pop out of your head. And then he asks the crowd, if you want to see Vince McMahon's eyes pop out of his head, give me a hell yeah. And then you have an entire arena of people like it's ancient Rome, and it's the gladiator games, and they're like, yeah, kill him. Yeah. That's
Rip
what this
his
is like.
Head off. They're looking for Mortal Kombat finishers.
Right, so you got this guy in the middle of the ring, and the crowd's like, kill him. His eyes pop out. I was like, wow, this is fucking crazy if you think about it. I mean, you probably would guess nobody really thinks anything bad's going to happen, but it plays off pretty weird, pretty crazy. So Austin pulls out a gun. It's weird because, we had the whole gun incident thing with Austin and Pillman, and that seemed to be a big serious deal. Then you have this, and there's no big deal really made of it. In the news or anything, or USA Network, they weren't pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Well, not that I heard of. Yeah.
I don't
that's
remember
true.
it ever being a big deal, but
yeah, maybe
there must have been something else maybe going on in society. People didn't give a fuck. I don't know.
Yeah, 96. Yeah, because this is 2 years later, almost exactly.
Yeah.
So October 96 to October 98. That's a big change in the business. Where they're competing against Nitro now, and there's a lot more money involved. So yeah, maybe USA is just like, all right, yeah, do what you got to do now. And plus, you have the South Park culture now, 1998.
Yep.
So a lot different time. Just 2 years later, it's crazy. All right, so you have him pull out the gun, and McMahon is he goes all cross-eyed. It looks so funny. Just crossing his eyes, all fucked up. Austin's holding the back of the microphone to his neck as if that's the gun. So McMahon's supposed to be thinking that's the gun.
He's probably fucking big barrel on this thing.
Yeah, holy shit, my brain's gonna go flying out. So Austin lowers the gun to his head. Not to his head though, it's in front of his face, basically. And then he fires it at 1 hour, 34 minutes, 22 seconds. And then the flag drops out like he's the Joker in Batman. And it says, bang, 316. Then McMahon pisses himself. They don't show that, though, on this broadcast of Raw. You'll have to see it later in, different video clips of, documentaries. You don't see his pants all drenched. But he did piss his pants. Austin tells him Vince McMahon screwed Vince McMahon. And you might have a new shirt. McMahon 316 says, I just pissed my pants. That should have become a shirt. That would have been great. I just
it would have sold.
Pants. Yeah, definitely would have sold.
Absolutely. yellow lettering.
Yeah. So McMahon gets up, and then Austin just gives him a nice stunner right there with his pissy pants. And then Austin's going to help McMahon up again, and he stuns him again. And then the show comes to a close. And you get a little extra attitude if you're watching on the network. Austin's going to put his foot on McMahon, raises his arm up to the crowd. The crowd goes nuts. McMahon's groveling and crying in the ring. And the Stooges finally come back, who have been missing in action all night. So you can only imagine what McMahon feels about them next week on Raw. And McMahon just rolls away crying, and he's getting all shit thrown at him from the crowd as he leaves the arena, as he goes back to the up the ramp. So, classic segment. Man, it just doesn't get much better than that for an episode of Raw with Austin.
I mean, start to finish, it's just a great story.
Right.
It's
Throughout
very,
the whole
very
night.
Austin-heavy episode. Like, it really isn't much in the form of side notes.
Yeah, there wasn't too much.
I had two. I had two cool ones.
All right, what do you got?
I got the Blue Blazers showing up to interfere.
Yep.
Double J, Jeff Jarrett with Deborah McMichael, which I think this was her debut too, right?
Yeah, Deborah McMichael's debut. Yep.
Yeah, Puppies. So the debut of like
Puppies. So that's coming soon.
Yeah, versus Blackman, and then the fucking huge tits on the chick that comes into the ring during the Tiger Ali Singh promo.
Oh, the deep throat.
Yeah, so they
deep
have her
like
deep throat to kill
Kabasa.
on TV twice. She did it twice.
On TV. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
I'm like, no wonder why ratings were high. This thing has fucking sex, drugs.
You got a prostitute. She's deep throating. My God. So Godfather comes out and he claims that was one of his hoes, and he wants his cut. He wants his cut from it.
Yeah, this episode had sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Well, no drugs, I guess.
And prostitution.
Yeah.
Godfather even says, as you can tell from what she just did, she was a good hoe.
So boss.
So he wants his cut of the $500 that she got for the kielbasa.
Yeah. Godfather's so good. We're gonna get
that was
more
a
of
good
him now too.
Yeah, it's funny how just the people of the nation just broke off into their characters just seamlessly in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it's either this episode of Raw or the next episode. The Rock comes out and his music's whack. It's like not a theme he used for a while.
Oh, yeah, I
don't
think
know
I know
if you noticed it. Yeah,
I think so.
It's more like electro. It's fucking weird.
Right. Yeah, that was weird. All right, yeah. So, that in terms of side notes, not much more than that. Val Venus and Mankind had a match with each other, and that ultimately led with Ken Shamrock interfering to Mankind, and they fight off into the crowd. That kind of continues going on. And that feud's going on for a little while. And then you have the Goldust and Val Venus angle still going on. But it looks like, I don't remember what happens in this angle, but it looks like Terry Runnels whispers something to Val Venus. He gets pissed and walks off. So I'm figuring, she just told him she's pregnant or something. We'll see. Because I don't really remember what happens.
I don't remember either, but I'm curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, so we'll keep up on that one. And then we got Sunday Night Heat 13, 10/25, 98. Nothing really of note here other than Michael Cole's on commentary with Jim Cornette and Shane McMahon is off of commentary. Like, thank God. But I think it makes sense because of what we're about to talk about in the next episode with Shane McMahon. So it's a nice transition for Shane McMahon to be off of Sunday Night Heat and now into a larger role in the WWF. And it's such a change, too, from what you see him as on Sunday Night Heat as being, this rah-rah type like college preppy dude.
Yeah.
To what he becomes on Raw.
Next
night, just this whole tone, totally different.
Much more mature.
Right. So, apparently he was acting as that college prep goof. That's what made him so annoying.
Getting everyone to hate him. So
right.
He was successful, I guess.
Yeah.
If you look at it.
All right, and so there's nothing really on Heat. Now we go to Raw 283 from October 26, 98. This was taped the night after the last Raw. So this is actually on October 20th, 1998, taped in Madison, Wisconsin. And the show's going to start off with the Mr. McMahon promo. And he's obviously not happy what happened the previous week and how nobody was there to help him. So take a listen to Vince McMahon. We'll talk about it right after that.
He got humiliated last week. It was horrible. And McMahon taking more verbal abuse here tonight from the student body here at the University of Wisconsin. Why is Austin here? Is Austin even welcome here?
Against my volition, Stone Cold Steve Austin is here in this arena tonight.
Against Mr. McMahon's volition. That means, King, against his will, I guess.
Not only do I hold Stone Cold Steve Austin responsible for every single reprehensible act he committed against me, I want all of you to know that I hold each and every one of you responsible as well.
Whoa!
My God, what's the matter with you people? I've lost all faith in humanity. Where the hell are your values?
That's right.
Where are your morals? Whatever happened to the Good Samaritan? Where were you in my hour of need? I'll tell you where you were. You were cheering for every act of humiliation Austin committed against me.
We're doing it again.
You savored every violation, every liberty that Austin took against me. But what you enjoyed the most was when Austin forced me to go to the ring. He made me get down on my knees. He made me beg. He made me cry. He made me urinate myself. And where were you? Where were any of you? No one came to my aid. Not you, Briscoe. Not you, Patterson. Or the commissioner. No one. My ankle has been re-injured. I've ruined a perfectly good Armani suit. I hurt all over.
What are they saying,
But
JR?
most of all, my feelings have been hurt. They've been crushed. But despite the injury, the insult, Austin, after the injury, I will never, ever forgive you for. That wasn't a letter of introduction you jammed down into my coat pocket. Oh, no. That was a legal document, Austin, and you knew damn well then it was a legal document. And with this battery of attorneys that I have behind me, Austin, I will fight you. I will fight you in court if I can. Hell, I'll fight you all the way to the Supreme Court.
Quite the legal staff here for Mr. McMahon.
Austin, before you make your next move, you better take stock in what I say.
Well, speaking of stock, you ought to buy stock in Pampers diapers. The bastard has a problem pissing all over himself. You know what I mean?
Did you hear what Austin said? Well, I can guarantee will be nothing compared to tonight. Well, folks, there's obviously great speculation as to what Mr. McMahon means regarding the contents of the illegal document that Austin stuffed in McMahon's pocket here last week. But, King, I got a feeling with all these lawyers here, we're going to get some resolve to that right here tonight on Raw.
You heard that right. That's a legal battery. Expensive lawyers, mind you, from Mr. McMahon. What do you think is in that document? What kind of legal document is it?
I don't know, but it must be a blockbuster. Plus, ladies and gentlemen.
So Mr. McMahon says right at the start of this promo that Steve Austin is in the building. It's against his best wishes. Austin is in the building, and he's going to hold each and every one of you responsible as well. So the audience. And so, what's the matter with you people? Where the hell are your values? Where are your morals? I feel like he's cut this promo before to the audience.
Yeah. So, how do I put this? Some of the stuff that comes up lately it seems repetitive, like they've done it before.
Right. And I think he did this. Maybe during like the Bret Hart stuff. Yeah, not even that long ago, like a year ago.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Cutting this promo. So, say now, he made me get down on my knees. The crowd pops for that. Because we got that 1998 audience there. So, any type of reference to that, it's kind of like if you're in school and someone says something like, so it's what's the answer? 69. Oh, something like that.
Look, I found the word sex in this book.
Right. Sex. Science book, it says sex. Oh, shit.
Look at these ancient Rome titties. Ancient Rome titties were the best titties when you were 10.
All these statues' titties have no arms. All right. I was just going to go on a little history rant, but I'm done. Let me get back to...
Yeah, that's enough history for me.
Get
Don't put me to sleep now, Mike.
All right, so he said, he made me get down on my knees, he made me beg, he made me cry, he made me urinate myself. That was funny, just how he sneaks it in there. He made me urinate myself. No one came to my aid. Not you, Briscoe, nor you, Patterson. No one. I ruined the perfectly good Armani suit. And then once he says that, then you get the asshole chants right on cue. He wants people to feel bad for him. And then he says, I ruined the perfectly good Armani suit. So nice little heel dig there to get the heat back on him. Under the guise of getting sympathy. So he has this legal document. Austin stuffed a legal document in his coat pocket. And he has attorneys. He's going to fight Austin. If he has to fight him all the way to Supreme Court, he'll fight him all the way to the Supreme Court. And now they haven't told us what this letter is all about, but they're alluding to it. And we could obviously guess what it is. Reinstatement type letter. What else would it be? But McMahon says he's going to fight it, even though they don't tell us that at this point. So Austin comes on the Titantron, tells McMahon he needs to stock up on diapers because he's going to be pissing himself. So he just keeps up with the little piss joke antics. And you got the speculation continuing on what the document is throughout the night. So that's what they're building up for this night's storyline is what's in the document, what's going on here. And then from there we go to a backstage interview with Stone Cold being interviewed by Michael Cole. This is only a minute long, so just take a listen to this real quick. We'll be right back.
Hopefully with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mr. Austin, could you please maybe shed some light on this mysterious letter that you stuffed into Mr. McMahon's pocket last week? Everybody wants to know about it.
Hold on just a second. What was that I supposed to say again? Yeah, I've been advised not to say anything at this point, but later on in tonight's show, we'll make a statement in front of the people. Thank you very much.
What do you mean we? Mr. Austin, what do you mean, what do you mean we?
We? Wait, who's he talking to back?
All right, so that was a quick one there. It was just Michael Cole just asking Austin, what's going on? What's this letter all about? And Austin comes back quick. He says, oh, hold on a second. Then he comes back and he says, I've been advised not to say anything at this point, but later tonight I'll make a statement in front of the people. Austin sounds funny here because he's like saying word for word what he was told by a lawyer.
Yeah.
And he's being all proper about it. Instead of how we would usually be, we're like, get the hell out of here, none of your damn business, jackass.
I'm not going through no lawyers and courts and,
You're right. So he says, we will make a statement in front of the people. So they make a big deal of, what's we? Who's we?
Yeah.
So, yeah, McMahon, they show McMahon a few times sitting with his lawyers, and he's getting nowhere. He's slamming on the table. He's all frustrated about the contract. And then moments later, or just a little while later, you see Michael Cole speaking to Shane McMahon. And Shane McMahon says the McMahon family will have an announcement later on about the Stone Cold situation. So now we get to Austin. Austin's going to cut a little promo. He's going to talk. He's going to get down to the ring. So take a listen to what Austin has to say. I'll be right back.
Boy, this could be a very revealing and poignant interview. We need information.
I got something to say to you, Vince, because I know you're all worked up and you're a little pissed off, but I really don't know why you're so mad at Stone Cold Steve Austin. Last Monday, I told those cops that gun was a toy, and that's exactly what it was. I told you that there wouldn't be any pain involved, and there wasn't. Hell, I told you you wouldn't feel a thing, and you didn't. So after I told you all of that, what did you do? You kneeled right here in this very ring, and in front of the world, you pissed in your pants like a baby.
Listen to this. It's the truth.
So, Vince, I guess that means maybe next time I tell you something, you should believe Stone Cold Steve Austin. But then again, maybe next time you shouldn't.
What? What's he talking about, JR? What about the document?
Because you see, Vince, what I got here is a brand new contract with the World Wrestling Federation.
What? A new contract? No way! He's got a new contract! He's back!
Not
Officially!
only am I back in the World Wrestling Federation, but this contract right here guarantees at least one title shot.
No way! Mr. McMahon would have never signed
And you
that,
can bet
JR.
your ass that that's all I'll need is one shot.
I don't
So
understand
I guess
this.
that means, Vince, I got you right by those little brass balls of yours.
Huh? But who signed it? How did this happen?
Because the only way Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to leave the World Wrestling Federation is if I quit, and I just don't see that happening anytime soon.
I don't understand this. I don't either. Austin's got a new contract.
All right, so Austin came down to the ring. He's making his way down the ring, and I see a sign as he makes his way down. And I thought it was just funny because it's nothing at this point, but it's a sign that just says "what" with a question mark.
Yeah, right.
He's like, wow. Hey, I don't know what they're saying what about, but hey, this becomes a big Austin slogan.
Huge.
I
Might
don't
be his
know.
biggest.
Yeah, it's right up there.
I mean,
With anything else.
Yeah.
You know, it takes on a life of its own, too. Crowd even still uses it today. So, yeah, it's a huge one.
That's like his woo
Yeah.
on the crowd. How the crowd, woo.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
to the
I
crowd.
get- I
just
get
the-
it.
just
Yeah,
the
that's how
copy.
you get the crowd involved. Yeah.
Yeah. I get to feel like Stone Cold. What?
All right, so Austin, he gets in the ring. Says, I really don't know why you're so mad at me, Vince McMahon. I told the cops it was a toy, which that's what I was wondering about. He said it was a toy, but I didn't hear him say it was a toy. I heard him say this is a 38 special.
Yeah, me too. That's exactly what I
So
heard.
I thought 38 special was a gun. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a toy. And I told you there wouldn't be any pain involved. Hell, I told you you wouldn't feel a thing, and you didn't. So there you go. You had the writing. It was meant to tell us all along that nothing was going to happen to McMahon. So they chose the words wisely there. You get a nice creative sign, another sign. It says, reinstate Austin. Your life depends on it. And it has a diaper attached to it. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
Being that
I made a point to look out for that sign, and that's fucking A+ work.
And it's funny because this is just the night after that Raw. So the people that are live in attendance, that was just the night before. So he was probably thinking about it like all day at school. Like, I got to get diapers. I got to get this poster board from CVS. Get markers. And I'm bringing it tonight. So, and he did. And it was damn good. Like you said, A+ sign there. So back to Austin. After I tell you all that, what do? You get in this very ring and in front of the world, and you piss your pants like a little baby. Piss your pants like a little baby. So, yeah, that was a good line there from Austin. He said, maybe next time, I tell you something, you should believe Stone Cold Steve Austin. Then again, maybe next time you shouldn't. Like, last time you should have believed me, but from now on, yeah, I'm not going to really tell you the truth now. So, fuck you. So, pretty cool. Good writing here, as we've been saying. So he has the paper in his hand. What I got right here is a new contract. Not only am I back in the WWF, but this contract guarantees me at least one title shot. All I need is one shot. So Austin's going to get his shot. It's going to be in the tournament, which doesn't seem fair because he's not really getting the title shot.
No, he's not.
He's getting the opportunity. But he has to beat like 4 people in the process to get the title. But I guess it is a shot at the title, but he has to run through an entire fucking tournament to win it back. But hey, I guess it's better than nothing. Better than being fired.
That's the best deal. Obviously,
Right.
No one is quitting it.
Right, yeah. So this means Vince, I got you by your little brass balls. The only time I'm leaving is if I quit. And that's not happening anytime soon. And I think that's an ironic line because that is the only way that he leaves. He quits. In 2001, right? Yeah, yep. 2001 he quits. Takes his ball and goes home. Or was that in 2000? Yeah, we'll get to it. But he does quit on his own accord. So there you have it. Now, this whole scene, what's going on at this point, this goes on for a while. It's like a 12, 13 minute segment on the actual Raw. So we broke it up into chunks. So that was Austin starting off the promo. And now you got Vince McMahon entering the scene at this point, and that's at 41:22, and that'll go to 45:01. So we got about 4 minutes of Vince McMahon and Austin. So take a listen to that.
Wait a minute. Stop the damn thing. Stop this thing. Stop what I said.
Well, roll on down here, Vince. I'll be happy to change your little diaper for you.
You talking about quitting? Well, let me tell you something. Maybe my incompetent attorneys can't do anything about that legal document, but by God, so help me, I'll find a way. And tonight just might be that way, because I would like nothing better than to hear from your lips, I quit. Yes. And Austin, since you are once again gainfully employed, and apparently there's not too much I can do about it, then whether you brought your wrestling gear or not, tonight you're going to compete in that very ring.
Austin's going to fight tonight? Mr. McMahon's going to make him.
And let me tell you something else. You're going to compete in an I Quit match.
What? Austin smiling.
And your opponent is going to be the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock.
Oh my, this is even getting more interesting by the moment here.
Yes. But Austin, I don't know how you sleep at night. Have you no conscience whatsoever?
Oh no, listen to this.
Once again, Vince, you got about 15,000 people calling you an ass.
Where the hell are their values?
The way that you garnered that contract, my God. How can you drive a wedge like that? Even a man like you with no conscience whatsoever. For 28 years, I set an example. For 28 years, I sacrificed Austin. And my God, what did it get me? What you've done is you turned a relatively incompetent, underachieving kid into a monster. How the hell? How can you possibly sleep at night knowing you've done such a thing? How can you sleep at night knowing you've driven a wedge like that?
Wait a minute.
All right, so McMahon at the top of this, he's making his way out. He's yelling at Pat Patterson, "Stop the chair! Stop wheeling the damn chair!" And Austin immediately, "Hey, roll up on here. I'll be happy to change your diaper for you." Still just busting his chops about pissing his pants.
Yeah, not going to let him live that one down.
No way. Not after 1 week. And it's funny because it's real piss. Vince McMahon just really pissed himself for that scene.
Really?
Yeah. Legit piss.
Wow.
Yeah. He probably
That's nasty. That's fucking terrible. That must have felt like such garbage on his thighs and shit.
Yeah, and then it burns probably. Burning piss. Ugh. Yeah, so it was legit piss. Yeah, so back to Austin McMahon there. So you have, maybe my incompetent lawyers can't do anything, but I'll find a way tonight. Maybe tonight, because I want to find a way to hear you say the words, "I quit." So he's going to set up an I quit match. He says, you're going to compete tonight. You're going to be in an I quit match with the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. Before he even got to who it was going to be, I was like, Ken Shamrock. It's going to be Ken Shamrock.
Which is the right pick, in my opinion.
It is the right pick.
You know?
And just a month ago, they had a great match, too.
Yep.
So why not?
I mean, at this point, if you're making your booking decision based on reality and legitimacy, Ken's the guy on the roster, right?
Right. Ken's the guy that's could make him say it. Could make him say, yep. I quit. All right, so you got Vince McMahon. I don't know how you sleep at night. And then you got everybody saying, asshole, asshole. Then Austin just constantly, over the past few weeks. Once again, Vince, you got 15,000 people calling you an asshole. So basically what we have here is McMahon being unhappy with how Austin got his contract. And we don't know what he's talking about at this point. But he says, the way that you garnered that contract, how could you drive a wedge like that? 28 years, I set an example. And what did I get? I got a relatively incompetent kid turned into a monster. How could you sleep at night knowing you drove a wedge like that? And at that same very time, you have Shane McMahon walking down the ramp. And Vince McMahon yelling to Shane, "Shane, come up here. Shane, what are you doing?" And then Shane gets into the ring. This is
such a great scene. Such a great start.
Yeah, this is awesome. So Shane gets in the ring, and he takes the mic, and you just got to hear it because this is fucking Shane McMahon. Just brilliant. It's just
and leading up to this, Vince's anger is getting more and more, worse by the second that Shane's not reacting to him or not responding to him.
Right, and he's getting emotional.
Yeah, you could see him like lowly say, "He's just a kid."
Right.
He's
just a kid. Yeah, that's right. All right, so listen to this great promo. This is the last part of it. Yeah. This is the last part of the segment, and we're going to hear from Shane McMahon now. Take a listen.
What's he doing here?
Shane? Shane, come on up here. Shane. Shane, come up here. Shane. Shane, what are you doing?
I don't listen to you anymore. I am an officer, more importantly, a stockholder of this company. And what you did to Stone Cold Steve Austin was wrong, Dad. You were wrong.
He's just a kid.
I just wanted to tell you personally that it was me. It was me, Dad, that hired Stone Cold back. It was me.
Whoa.
Hey, I guess I finally have your attention now, don't I? After 28 years, I finally have your attention. I've seen superstars come, and I've seen superstars go. And why, Dad, why? Because it's always been about your ego. You said it yourself, no one is bigger than Vince McMahon. Oh, no. All my life, people have asked me, boy, what's it like to be Vince McMahon's son? Wow, wasn't that great? And I have lied year after year after year to protect you, to protect our family name. Well, the lying stops now. I am tired of it. You never cared about me. I couldn't do anything right for you. Nothing is ever right. My grades in school were never good enough for you.
Yes, they were.
My athletic accomplishments were never good enough for you. My business deals, no matter how much money I made you, was never good enough for you. The only thing I ever wanted from you, the only thing I ever wanted is for you to be proud of me, of me. But I finally figured it out. That's never ever gonna happen. Because it's never been about me. It's always been about you. You, Dad. It's always about perception. Perception. Ever since I've always known as Vince's boy. How does Vince's boy make him look? It wasn't about me. It was about how I made you look, that perception, and your big corporate parties.
You're my son.
Yeah, I'm your son, but I'm not your little boy anymore. I'm a man, and I stand in this ring as a man. I am no longer your boy, Dad. I am proud of who I am. I am proud of the person I have become. My name is Shane McMahon, and for 28 years, I've finally built up enough courage to face you here today, to stand up to you. I guess now you have something to be proud of me about, don't you, Dad? Because I finally stood up to you, and I had the brass to do it. Isn't it ironic? I guess I'm just like you, after all. Isn't that right, Dad?
If you think Vince got what he had coming, give me a hell yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm in shock. How could Shane McMahon talk to his father that way? Stone Cold Steve Austin has torn his family apart.
has got a new contract thanks to the son of Vince McMahon. And folks, we'll be right back.
All right, so as Shane gets in the ring, he grabs that mic, and he looks straight at his father. I don't listen to you anymore. I'm an officer. I'm a stockholder of this company. What you did to Austin was wrong. You were wrong, Dad. It was me that hired Austin back. It was me. And that's cool right there. It's like just a classic father-son. You know, the son always being ignored, basically, and the son wants attention now. And he's like, I'm smart, Dad. I can do things. So there he has it. He's the one that got Austin back. And I guess, you know, I finally have your attention, Dad. After 28 years, I finally have your attention. And the next point that he makes is so brilliant, too, because it goes back to what we were saying about McMahon and how he was telling the truth about no one's bigger than the boss. Don't cross the boss. No one's bigger than Vince McMahon. Shane McMahon says right here, I've seen superstars come and superstars go. Why, Dad? Why? Because it's always been about your ego.
Oh, right for the throat.
Right. And it's crazy, just like with the way wrestling is right now. People are leaving WWE because of him, because of his ego.
21 years later.
Right, it's still happening. So if he's saying that back then, that was true then. As it's seemingly true today. So, people ask me, what's it like to be Vince McMahon's son? Wow, isn't it great? But I lied for years to protect you. Just great shit. You know, all this stuff that Shane McMahon said there is just spot on. It just sounds true. You know, in a way, I guess it's kind of soap opera-ish, but as we said before, that's what this is. But I think Shane McMahon's doing a great job with the acting. Vince McMahon, he does a good job, but he pulls off more of like a corny type sad. You know, it doesn't. He pulls off a great asshole, but he doesn't pull off the sympathy too well.
No, he doesn't at all, because you know he's full of shit.
Right. And either he's not really emotional, like character-wise, like they could be going for, all right, he's supposed to be acting like he's caring, but Mr. McMahon doesn't care. He just wants the sympathy from the crowd, and he wants to be able to use it to his advantage down the road. So that's why he's trying to act sympathetic. So that could work for his character, to be just pretending to be sad. In a way that kind of covers up his shitty acting. By doing that. So Shane McMahon's the guy. You know, he's the one that got Austin back in. And, you know, it's a nice little twist here. And it's a big turning point in the history of WWF now, because you got Shane McMahon involved in a major storyline, and on and off over the next 21 years, he's going to be involved in numerous big parts of the WWF history. So this is the start of it, really, for Shane McMahon. We've seen him a little bit here and there, 98 with Tyson, and then on Sunday Night Heat, but now he's in a big role here, turning on his dad, turning on his family, and bringing Austin back. So Austin appreciates that Shane McMahon did what he did and stepped up to his father. So as Shane McMahon's leaving the building, Austin calls out to him, "Hey, kid," and tosses him a Steve Weiser. And Shane McMahon kind of like tips it to him, like, "Yeah, thank you," and he leaves the building. So there you have that. What'd you think of that?
It's a good moment.
Yeah.
I like the end moment there, tossing the beer and shit.
Yeah.
As I'm sure he was getting, like we've discussed over the past few episodes. I mean, if we were seeing how annoying he was on Heat, I don't know, but it's possible that maybe he was catching a lot of flack backstage. He's the boss's son. He's being put in like a prime position, and he delivered.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
so it's almost like good job. Like, hey, you know, welcome to the team.
Right, you made it. You cut a hell of a promo.
Yep.
Yeah, that was badass. So you listen to it there, but go back and watch it just to see, you know, the visual of it, right? Yeah. The emotion of it, because you know part of it seems like some of that is true to Shane McMahon. Who knows?
You got the timestamp. Share with the listeners too.
Yeah. So The segment begins much before the Shane part, but the Shane part starts at 45 minutes. It goes to 49 minutes on that episode of Raw, which again was Raw 283. So go to that part. If you want to just watch the entire segment, then go to 38 minutes. And it kicks off from there. It goes on for about 14 minutes. So definitely worth taking a look at. All right, so now this will bring us to the match. So McMahon had ordered that Stone Cold have a match. And that's the I Quit match. Steve Austin versus Ken Shamrock. Prior to the match, they show Ken Shamrock. He's going to do a little interview. I just thought this was funny to note. He's just on the screen and he goes, I quit.
Yeah.
And then he finally starts talking and says, Austin, that's the only time you'll hear me say those words. This ain't about a title. You need to earn a title shot against me. This is about who's the man. And I'm thinking, this ain't about the title. He doesn't give a fuck about the Intercontinental title. He doesn't need to earn a title shot against you either because he doesn't want that damn title. He already told The Rock last year he was on to bigger and better things, and he gave him the title.
Shamrock's got the personality of a can of white paint.
Yeah.
Like, the dude's he has nothing.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right.
Well, Mick Foley knocks him a couple episodes ago. We covered, right?
Right.
Kind of takes a shot at how shitty he is, like on the mic.
Yeah, that was good. All right, so you got the I Quit match here. This starts at 126 and ends the show at 132. So you know it's not going to last long. So let me just go through it quickly. The match starts off right away with Shamrock attacking Austin. Right as he gets in the ring, he doesn't have his vest off. He's in the corner doing his little pre-match routine, and Shamrock just goes right after him. Yeah, they start to brawl. It's more of a brawl style as opposed to the last match from a month ago that was really good. That was a technical match, and they had a lot of time. They actually had like 12 to 15 minutes for that match last month, and with this one, they're limited to 5-6 minutes. So it's really just a brawl. So Austin wraps Shamrock with the cables. Shamrock's going to toss Austin into the crowd. Now one part of note here is that Austin goes for a pile driver, and he gets back body dropped right onto the concrete in the first row. It sounded bad, and it looked like he banged his head. I don't know if you caught that part or checked that out.
I did not catch that.
Yeah, so that was pretty rough. And they get back in the ring, and at this point they do a little bit of wrestling for a couple minutes, but this is kind of slowing things down. And Briscoe gets involved. He grabs Austin's leg as he goes off the ropes. Tim White goes outside to deal with the Stooges, and Pat Patterson's going to hit Tim White, and then Sergeant Slaughter's going to stomp on Tim White. So Austin goes for the Stooges, and Shamrock's just left in the ring on his own. So Mankind runs in and gets the mandible Mr. Sacco on Shamrock, and then Austin grabs a chair from the outside. He comes back in, whacks Shamrock right on the head, like a huge, solid shot to the head. And Tim White gets back in the ring. Shamrock's knocked out, and Austin takes Shamrock's hands and makes him tap. And then the match is over. And I thought it was cool because you had Austin in the I Quit match not give up. And then when Shamrock was the ref at WrestleMania 13. And then here you have Shamrock getting knocked out, but not saying I quit. So it was a good way to book Ken Shamrock as to lose to Austin, which he should, but not say I quit in the I Quit match. And he loses just that way by having Austin tap him out.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, so pretty cool. Pretty cool way to not, fuck with Shamrock.
Yeah, I thought it was good because they're still trying to. There's still a lot of money to be made with Ken Shamrock in their eyes. I'd agree with them there. So you don't really want to make him look bad here in this.
Right, and you don't want Austin to lose to him.
Yeah, exactly, because you still got to ride the hot wave that is Steve Austin. I mean, he's still your top guy.
Right, exactly.
By far.
Yep. So basically what you have there is, the match ends, Shamrock, I guess, kind of just rolls off. But Patterson and the Briscoe and all the Stooges come running in. And
it's funny how they run into.
Yeah, they run in they just get stunned one by one. So you got Patterson, then Briscoe, then Slaughter, and they all just take the stunner. And JR ends the show with the rattlesnake is back, and he just struck with a vengeance. He has struck physically, and he has struck emotionally. So that concludes the episode of Raw. So kind of recap here, you had Austin get revenge on Vince McMahon for getting his ass fired at Judgment Day, and he just toyed with them for an entire night, scaring him that he was going to kill him. The whole time, Austin knowing that he is re-signed with the company, so he's just fucking with McMahon, basically. So he's not mad because there's no reason to be mad. He's got a new deal worked out, and he just wanted to play a little game with McMahon. And then the following week, we're teased with how to get this contract, and it's revealed that Shane McMahon was behind it all, and Austin is back. He's going to get a title shot at Survivor Series by being in the tournament. And McMahon and Shane McMahon have some things to work out. So we'll see what's to come with that. Now, in terms of side notes, what did you have? Have anything?
Let me get to the bottom here. I don't think I had. Oh, no, I did actually. So the Brood forms on this episode.
That's right.
Which is interesting. And it's also kind of like a statement to have the guy they beat up being Kane, because at first it looks like Edge is going to help Kane in the match against Gangrel, right?
Yeah, match with Gangrel.
And, Kane's obviously dominating the match, and then Christian crashes the match, and then from the crowd, you get Edge, so.
Right, like you said, it looks like Edge is going to go after either Christian or Gangrel, but then he goes right after Kane. So that's the formation of the Brood. We don't have that name yet, but that's what they'll become.
That's what we know them as. And we'll end up knowing them as. I loved the Brood. I always wanted, I thought they were so cool.
Yeah, they were cool. The blood and the music. Their music's awesome.
Music was sick. I picked that music a lot in Create a Wrestler.
Did you?
Games. Oh, yeah. Or even the entrance of them coming up from the stage.
Yep.
That shit was just a cool-ass entrance.
That song, when that song plays, I swear, there's another song that comes to mind. Now, you're probably off the top of your head, you probably won't be able to think of.
No, I know there is one, because I think that too. There's another song that starts off similarly.
Well, the way that the music plays, it gets me in my head to say, "Smack my bitch up."
Yeah, it is. It's Prodigy-esque. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like "Smack my bitch up" in a way.
Yeah, by Prodigy.
Yeah, so guys, go out and just find that song, go on YouTube, type in the Brood music or Gangrel music, and you'll hear that. Now that I told you, if you didn't pick it up on your own, you probably did. But yeah, it's "Smack my bitch up." It's in there. So yeah, more with music though. You have Motley Crue performing. They do a little rock concert. I like Motley Crue, so I didn't mind this.
Yeah, Motley Crue rules. Yeah. Those guys will never suck.
So they were singing the song, "Take a Ride on the Wild Side."
Yeah.
And it's funny to see, DX act like a bunch of fanboys. They're like marks.
They probably were, though.
I bet they were. Yeah, that's right. That's party music. That's the 80s. That's their time, for the most part. Other than the Kid, other than X-Pac. So definitely Road Dogg. I can picture Road Dogg being full out Motley Crue fan, in high school.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, they're all on the stage singing with them, and that was cool. And but the cool part, another cool part about it is, what they don't really talk about it all or even acknowledge it, but towards the end of the performance, there's a fan that jumped the railing, is on the ramp, and then a big guy just comes by and grabs the fan and walks him to the back. And there's no explaining on who that is, but it's Test. It's the debut of Test. So he's the bodyguard for Motley Crue, who then's becoming a wrestler.
Oh shit!
And for whatever reason, I didn't realize. I always thought the name Test sucked. It's all right, Test, he sucks. Test name sucks. And it's because he's this bodyguard. He's like a roadie. So he checks the mics. Test. That's why his name's Test. So he's like a new version of the roadie.
Yeah,
that's what it was, though.
I didn't need to. I already didn't like Test as it was, and that whole I didn't need to know that. That didn't help.
Yep. And you get the debut of Steve Regal, who looks like shit.
We also get the first Tiger Ali Singh match.
Oh yeah, and he's wearing like Taz tights. He's wearing the orange, and it's like a combination of Taz and Mr. Perfect tights that he has on.
Yep.
Yeah. So anything else?
There's a lot of good debuts on this episode.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. So we get some new things going on.
Yeah.
You got
Some
Taz,
plot
you got the
points coming up,
Brood, Steve Regal. Yeah. You got
And
Shane McMahon now.
You got the Insane Clown Posse.
Ah, fuck off.
They're on this episode too.
And they wrestle on a match.
Yeah, with the
oddities. But the oddities get pissed at them because ICP cost the oddities the match.
Yeah.
And Luna's chasing after them, like whacking ICP.
I didn't watch the whole segment. Once I saw them coming down the ring, I was like, fuck, Juggalos. And fast forwarded.
Right. Always. The only thing I like about seeing the oddities is Kurgan dancing.
Yeah. He's so awkward.
It just looks so funny. Oh, so great. All right, guys. So let's wrap things up here. We'll do the house show rundown from October 19th to October 31st. So we're going to Charlotte, North Carolina on October 23rd, 98. Steve Austin, again, is beating, he's going to defeat Kane, Undertaker, Mankind with Gerald Briscoe as the referee. The next night in Greensboro, North Carolina, October 24th. You have the same match, but in the steel cage, and Steve Austin wins there. October 25th, they go to Madison Square Garden, and you have a similar match in a steel cage, but instead of Mankind in the match, you have The Rock replacing Mankind. So Austin defeats Undertaker, Kane, and The Rock in a steel cage, pinning The Rock with the stunner. Sergeant Slaughter's the guest referee. And even Vince McMahon comes out during this one, which is rare for a house show, but it's at Madison Square Garden, so it's a big one. So McMahon wheels himself to ringside and argues with Austin. And while Austin is in the cage and while Austin is distracted by McMahon, Bossman sneaks into the cage and beats the shit out of Austin. And that's how that ends. October 30th, 98 in Tampa. Austin defeats Kane, Mankind, and Undertaker with a stunner. And then the following night, October 31st, 1998, San Antonio. Same result. Austin defeats Kane, Mankind, Undertaker. So they basically did that match or a variation of that match all October on the house shows. We've been past 2 weeks on the house show rundown. It's basically those same matches. So Austin's just going against those guys. And it's good for those guys because they get to take it easy with so many people involved in the matches. So it's good to do that on a house show.
Yep.
Give everybody a little bit of time. All right, so that'll bring us now to our Oh Hell Yeah moment of the week. I'll go first. My Oh Hell Yeah moment of the week is not the Bang 316, which I thought it was going to be going into it. It was Shane McMahon stealing the show with his promo, talking to his father about how he signed Austin back and he deserves respect. So yeah, Shane McMahon gets my Oh Hell Yeah moment of the week. What do you got, JV?
I had to go with that as my hell yeah moment of the week as well. It's
All right,
just,
so
it's too good, and just like you, I didn't expect that coming into this episode. I'm like, Bang 316, but
right.
Totally slept on and forgot about the Shane McMahon, coming out party.
I hear you. Yeah. What about Oh Hell No? What do you got for Oh Hell No?
Insane Clown Posse.
That's always easy for you to go.
Yeah, they don't belong on TV. That's the worst thing. You can show guns, you can show hookers and all that. You cannot show the Insane Clown Posse. That's the worst. Don't need juggalos.
Man, it's tough to find an Oh Hell No that I really hate. And that's because, in my notes, I usually delete the shit I don't like after I took notes about it, so I don't leave it in. Try to keep the good shit in here.
I usually identify my hell no moment rather quickly.
Yeah, then keep it in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Well, really my Oh Hell No moment, I guess, is it's the casket match. The Kane versus Undertaker casket match. They just had a match the night before that sucked. And then they have another match that sucked the very next night. So, yeah. Kane and Undertaker, get your shit together and put on some good matches. And, The booking of it sucks. They just had a match. So I'm gonna say, oh hell no, to another Kane versus Undertaker match when they just had one for money on pay-per-view. Now the next night, people are getting it for free, and an even better style match, a casket match.
Yeah,
So,
right.
oh hell no, to the booking.
It's fucked when you put it that way.
Yeah. All right. So next week on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, what we have in store for you is the opening weeks of November leading up to the Survivor Series. So next week, episode 36, we'll go through the happenings of the Raw from November 2nd and November 9th. The following week will be the Survivor Series. So on June 19th, episode 37, we'll cover the Survivor Series, the Deadly Game, the tournament for the WWF Championship, and then the Raw from the day after Survivor Series. So November 15th and 16th. So those are the next 2 episodes we have coming up for the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. Now, other than Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, there are a couple shows out there we want you to take a look at, and that's Talking Taker. So Talking Taker is a similar show to us. It's the career of The Undertaker, pay-per-view by pay-per-view. And on their show, they break it down just like we do here. So take a listen to the host, Alex Dorio, one of the hosts, Alex Dorio, talk about what the show is to you guys. Take a listen.
Dead man walking.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Stone Cold fans? This is Alex Dorio, one of the hosts of Talking Taker. And along with my co-host and fellow creature of the night, Travis White, we are digging up the career of the dead man, one pay-per-view match at a time, on a podcast journey that's a lot like what you're listening to right now on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. So if you're enjoying what Mike and JV are doing here, going through the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, come check us out as we explore The Undertaker's 3 decades of destruction. We're right in the midst of the Biker Taker era right now, so you can jump right in or start over from the beginning and hear us discuss The Undertaker's side of the story from his many battles with the Rattlesnake, The Rock, Mankind, and more. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, YouTube, Spotify, and more. And you can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Talking Taker. Thanks to Mike and JV for letting us plug the show, and take her easy. What? I said, take her easy.
All right, so that's Talking Taker. And this week on Talking Taker, they'll be covering WrestleMania 19 in an incredible Undertaker match. Undertaker Nathan Jones versus A-Train and Big Show. A great WrestleMania match for The Undertaker.
Oh, wow.
Shitty ass tag team match.
Have fun covering that one, guys.
It's one of those things, though, where it's probably funny.
Yeah.
Funny shit to cover. The worse it is, the probably better it is. It's kind of like our ECW Extreme Live cast. Here's my segue. All right. So today, which if you're hearing this on the first day, June 5th, we just released the 2nd episode of the ECW or Extreme ECW Live cast, which covers April 20th and April 27th of 1993. And you can get those episodes on the Book in the Territory Patreon feed. So if you don't know Book in the Territory, check out Book in the Territory. It's Mike Mills, Hardbody Hopper, and Doc Turner. They break down shows of NWA, WCW Saturday Night from the 1980s. They do a review show, and they just go through all the happenings and the promos and just kind of talk shit about what's happening there. And they do that also with Smoky Mountain Wrestling, which is on Sundays. So Thursdays for WCW Saturday Night, Sundays for Smoky Mountain Wrestling recap. And this week on the WCW show, they're covering February 6th, 1988. And on Smoky Mountain, they're covering episode 146, November 12th, 1994. So check out Book in the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast. Then also consider signing up for their Patreon at the $5 tier so that you can hear more of us, JV and Mike Prue, talk about ECW, the early years of ECW, and then join us on that journey. If you like that journey with Stone Cold, consider joining the ECW journey. It's been pretty fun so far. All right.
Hey, before you leave, hey!
So you can also reach out to us on Twitter. Okay, my handle is MPRU83. JV is at John Van Damage. And we here at the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast are at Bottom Line Cast. And for the Extreme ECW live cast, we're at ExtremeCast. So reach out to us, follow, retweet, share with your friends. Tell your friends about us. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play, Radio Public, basically wherever, because it just goes to all the different podcast feeds. I don't even know them all, but they're out there. So share with your friends, and that's all we can ask. Well, also, I can ask you for a review. That'd be nice, too. A 5-star review on iTunes. That definitely helps with getting the show out there and more noticed when you do searches and such. So consider doing that for us. Thank you a lot, guys, for listening. You guys have been with us for this long journey at this point. We're 35 episodes in, and I think we're at the halfway point, is the way I have it estimated. Okay? Depending on how we might change the structure of the episodes, but we're just basically halfway, because Austin ends in 2002, and we're here about to go into 1999. So this is almost the halfway point for Austin's career in the WWF. So thanks you guys for being on this journey with us. Stick with us and spread it out there, because we still have a lot more shows to cover. And let's expand this audience. Let's expand this bottom line cast. And thank you guys again. JV, any final words before we go?
No final words, man.
All right, we're out of here. So long.
It was a fun 2 episodes of Raw.
Yeah,
I like cutting you off at the end there. Now do it again.
Do it again, bitch. All right, guys, thanks for listening. I'm Mike Prue along with JV. We'll see you next week for episode 36. So long.